What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with the Pointer Change. Come on in, throw up some likes, throw up some loves. Tonight, Dayna Moore is celebrating 3 years of recovery. You guys, if you don't know Dayna, you've seen her here in the comments, I'm sure, or you maybe even seen her last year when she came and shared her story for her 2 year. But this year she's back. We're going to hear some updates. We're going to get to know Dayna a little bit some more tonight. So go ahead and throw some likes and loves up on this video. Share this video out if you don't mind. Throw a comment up. Let us know where you're watching from. Brendan, what's up, brother? Patrice, what's going on? Michael McNeil, good evening, man. Good to see you. Dayna, Michael says, we love you, Dayna. Hell yes, we do. Congratulations, Dayna, my spicy sister, says Patrice. So proud of you. Love you. Oh, that's beautiful. Paul Martinez. Hello, Maddie and Recovery family from Quincy, Washington. 6/9/19. 939 days clean today. Right on, brother. We got all kinds of recovery racking up here in this feed. Dayna's here celebrating 3 years. I'm at 4 years and 11 months today. We got all kinds of recovery time to rack up here. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring on the woman of the hour. Here she is, guys. Throw up every heart in the world for Dayna Moore.
Whatever. Hi, Maddie. How you doing? I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Yeah. This last year, recovery has gotten a lot easier.
Yeah?
Yeah, it really has. I live up here by my family. I work at a grocery store with my sister, my son, and my niece all work in the same store. I have a huge support system. I recover out loud. I run into people all the time that are in recovery all the time. And I tell them, and I ran into a lady yesterday at the laundromat that had 21 months clean. And it's amazing how many people you run into. And if you're wearing a recovery shirt or something, they're like, oh, well, and you strike up a conversation with them and they tell their story and you tell yours. And, I'm trying to get some kind of NA program started here. They don't have this is a very small community, so they don't have a real lot reach out as far as, NA meetings and that kind of stuff. I mean, not that I ran across.
Okay.
So the lady I ran into at the laundromat yesterday, she stays here at the homeless shelter. We have one homeless shelter here in St. George. And I said, well, do they have NA meetings there? And she goes, no. And I said, well, maybe that's something we need to kind of look into, getting some kind of, outreach and stuff for people that need help.
Yeah.
I mean, there's tons of treatment centers here because this is like a retirement community. And this is where all the people send their kids, for $20,000, $30,000 a month. But I don't know of any like aftercare or programs here to help people once they get out.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Or people, they're in the homeless shelter. They don't really have outreach to, here's some drug counseling, here's some, resources and stuff. So it's really weird how they're really bringing out addiction and stuff just over this last year. It is just bombarded. My mom asks me questions about it and I get questions about it and stuff. And I explain to people, well, this is this and this. And well, why can't people stop? And people that have not been in addiction, they don't understand that you can't just go to somebody and say, hey, you need to stop doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't work.
Because,
it's more than that. It's a lifestyle. Everything's built up, but that's awesome that you found a need in your area and that you're jumping on,
I know, cool. Because I'm on this earth because I have a purpose. I just need the purpose to come to my direction. So I know what to do with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, awesome.
So anyway,
we find our message in our mess,
Yeah, pretty much. But I'm not in a mess right now, although everybody calls me a hot mess because I'm always like, a squirrel and kind of, flighty. So anyway, this is my story for people that have not heard it. I came from a normal home. I started partying like in my 20s, just the recreational, let's drink a beer, let's go to the bar, let's do some cocaine, let's, the usual. I met my husband and I got married when I was 27, had 3 children. I didn't party, no drugs, nothing. I drank beer, but I was PTA president, involved with my kids, room mom. My kids were all in sports, everything, just the normal mom. Then I got divorced, and I stayed pretty good for about 3 years after that. And then started getting into meth, met a guy, started really getting into meth, lost my apartments, lost my jobs, eventually turned over to my kids, to my in-laws, because it wasn't a good environment for them.
Yeah.
Then I ended up a week before my 50th birthday. See, I'm an old drug addict. I get arrested for breaking into storage units with the guy I was with. I go to jail. They let me out. I go back. They arrest me and put me in jail because my charges had hit. I spent 32 days in jail and told my kids not to get me out. I went to court. They gave me probation. I get out and I'm like, well, I have no house. I have nowhere to live. So I began living on the streets. Slept in Walmart parking lots. I slept behind buildings. I mean, I slept basically wherever I went by. I was by myself, so I slept basically wherever. I didn't care. It was like, whatever. I'll just grab a sleeping bag and sleep between this building or behind this fence or behind this dumpster. Ate out of trash cans. I ran around collecting cans, and one of my friends would come and take me to the metal place to recycle so I would have money to eat. I never panhandled or anything. I just always found a way. I knew what dumpsters had the good food and what dumpsters I could go to. And, this dumpster had this food on this day, this one. I mean, it was like survival, I wasn't really when I was homeless, I wasn't really doing any crime. I wasn't breaking into things. I wasn't selling drugs, selling my body or anything. I just basically got out there and just survived.
Mm-hmm.
So after a little while of that, I turned myself in because I had warrants because I wasn't going to probation. I went in and I told him, I said, listen, I can't do this probation. I have nowhere to live. I can't get a job. I don't have a physical address. I don't know what you want me to do. I said, just I was 51 at that time. I'm like, just let me go do the jail time. I don't care if I have felonies. I'm 51. It doesn't matter. I can't do the probation. So they let me out. They're like, oh, you're back on probation. I'm like, okay, well, how am I supposed to do this? So
wow.
I went to a couple probations and I explained to the probation lady, I'm like, listen, this is not good, blah, blah, blah. So finally I quit going again, back on the streets, sleeping just wherever, just doing my thing. And I finally was like, okay, I need to get this handled because I can't continue to live on the streets. I'm an old lady. I had a couple incidents with some guys trying to do things, and it just really wasn't a safe environment for me. So I went back in, again, told them I have nowhere to live, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. What does he do? Gets me on probation. So by the grace of God, somebody that I had previously met in jail the first time, she had been calling me saying, I'm taking care of this lady. Can you come? We'll give you a room. Can you come over and help me with her on the weekends? I thought, score. I'll move in with this lady, have my own room, get my probation set up. So I go in there and that lady saved my life. She truly saved my life. God put that lady in my life because I got through my probation. I had a steady place to live. I became totally clean, did no drugs, nothing at all whatsoever, even though in San Antonio, everything around me was drugs. Mm-hmm. Everything. All the people I knew, everybody was on drugs. And then all of these young men that were just like in my life for so long, a lot of them died. And it was just so disheartening because you think, if I'm doing this and trying to set an example, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They saw me being clean after seeing me for all these years being all crazy, wild and out. And I just would talk to them and be like, there's a better life. You just really need to, you don't need to do this. Everything's going to be fine. But that addiction thing gets a hold of you, and you know this, and there's no telling somebody. You try to give them hard love, you try not to enable, and it's hard, but you just want to pick them up and just shake them and go, can you please just stop?
Yeah, but we can't go around shaking people. I know that conundrum too.
Yeah. I mean, it's just really hard. And so since Miss Linda was her name, she passed away in May of 2020. I contacted my family here in Utah, which I had been on the outs with them for many, many years because I was on the streets. I was doing drugs. I was embarrassed. I didn't call them and go, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm doing meth. Yeah, I'm crazy. I'm living behind a dumpster, because I felt very ashamed that I had let my life go to that. And I think back now and I think, what if I would have never done that? Where would my life be?
Well, amen.
You know what I mean? It's like you look back and you think, I had a house, I had my kids, I had a really good job, I had a car. Where would my life be had I not done that? But that's the what ifs that you just have to move along. And it's like, I have a lot of anxiety now because I'm basically, like my son tells me, I stress out over money and stuff. And my son tells me, he said, Mom, you're basically starting over.
Yeah.
You're basically starting over like a high school kid that just got your diploma and you have nothing. He goes, you are starting from, here's this job. You got to start over and make everything that you need, And it really makes me think, because I'm like, I am almost 55 years old and I'm like, shit, come on.
Well,
but
this is your second chance, that second chance is not everybody gets one,
Yeah, I completely understand, and God has saved me and has put me in this position there's obviously something I need to be doing.
Amen.
There is something I need to, I don't know what it is, but it'll come to me. I'm very proud of you, by the way, Maddie.
Thank you. I'm proud of you. Proud of you hitting this 3-year mark, man. This is awesome.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, the first couple of years is kind of like last year at this time, I was really struggling with a lot, and you don't really, you have a lot of anxiety, a lot of bad dreams, lots of using dreams those first couple of years. But I mean, in the last year, things have kind of mellowed out a little, and I'm doing a lot more self-care and a lot more reading and, figuring stuff out. A lot of reading on addiction and this, that, and the other, where you look back at the past and you think, oh my God, all the people that I wronged, all the people that I did stuff to, how can you make amends to those people? And I need to work on that. I have not done the steps. Amen. I have all the books and the material to do them. I just haven't. I just do my own thing. And you know what I mean? I guess everybody has their own way.
Well, each path is, individualized, but myself, I think that making amends is a pretty big thing in recovery. And I definitely understand it puts a lot of pressure and anxiety on you too. And it's kind of an awkward thing. It's like, how do I even start that conversation? But if you needed help with it, of course, I'd be willing to help you with it. And I'm sure other people here would be willing to help you too, if you found that you wanted to work on that. That was a step that I don't work the steps, but that was a step that I borrowed from NA and decided on my own that I needed to reach out and make some amends with some people. I wouldn't say that I went straight up as bureaucratic as they go about it in the rooms. You actually sit down and you take an inventory of everybody that you've ever wronged, and you call them and you talk to them or whatever. I didn't actually go that deep with it, but it was as people have crossed my mind of, oh man, I remember I ripped this guy off or whatever. As long as they're in recovery and it's not reaching out to somebody that's still using or something like that. If the amends is okay to be made, I've made them, and it's a weird conversation, but it's so healing, It really is
Mhm.
to talk to some of those people and have them say, hey, it's okay, I forgive you, or just to have them chew your ass. Because like the one guy, um, it's one of my ex's dad. I stole from him, and I mean, I took his daughter out and turned her against him in a lot of ways. And I stayed at his house and lied right to his face, told him I wasn't using it. I was, and I called him up and apologized to him, and he let me have it. Told me that that it was worse than I thought it was, and that he held a lot more against me than I thought he had, and that I had destroyed his faith in humanity, that I was the last straw, that after me he was never gonna trust anybody ever again. And by me calling him and reaching out and apologizing, he said I restored that and I fixed that for him. And I gave him closure on the situation, and he forgave me and said he wished me all the luck in the world with the point of change and to keep doing what I'm doing. And it was an amazing feeling to have one of the people who I wronged in big ways to actually say, "Hey, I forgive you, man." Like it made me forgive myself on a lot of levels.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, and it's hard because a lot of the people that I would want to talk to and stuff are still using, and probably 99% of the people I know are still using, and it's just I don't know. It's I don't know. I'll get to that bridge. I'll cross that
We'll cross
bridge.
it
It's
when you
just
get there.
like
We don't have to do that right now, Dana. Don't worry.
yeah, I mean, it's just really hard because there's so many people on so many different levels, and you just want to call them and put yourself out there and say, I'm really sorry about this situation, and I apologize. But like you said, what if they turn around and go, well, and gripe you out? And plus, I mean, when you're in
They can.
recovery, my trust level is like, so I don't trust anybody. I don't.
Mhm,
To this
mhm.
day, I am just like, I stay single. I don't want to put myself out there. And also, it's like, I don't know if I've earned the trust of like my family and stuff because of stuff that's gone on in the past. You know what I mean? It's kind of like you don't know where you stand.
Well, you never really will.
Thanks, Maddie. Thanks. I appreciate that.
You'll never really know. You just have to kind of let that one go, I guess. Uh,
Just dance around that box.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, we can't let other people's opinions of us weigh us down, for one. So what other people think of us are none of our business. And
Yeah.
so whether they still hold resentments or not, that's on them, I guess. We just got to make sure our side of the street is clean, and that's all we can take care of.
Yeah.
Can't Part of what we accept when we ask God to give us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change is to accept what other people think of us, and to accept what other people do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just hard. It's just some days I get up and I try to be a positive person every morning and go to work and I'm positive and, always tell people things could be a lot worse and just, because I work in a grocery store. So, it's a shit show most days.
Yeah.
And so it's like, you just, especially through the holidays, you're just like, oh my God, what
Oh,
the hell?
my heart
But
goes out to you working in any kind of
oh my
anything like that,
God,
retail and
people are
stuff.
just,
Oh,
people are just nasty. They're
yeah,
just downright rude. Well,
yeah.
I know you have some of that in the back. Well, if I had it in the back, it would be out here. Well, I know you're hiding it in the back.
Yeah, what do
I
you
ain't
think's
hide.
back there?
There is nothing back there for real. But all these people think we have this mysterious back room where vortex with all of these things, and it's like, no, no, we really do not have this stuff. I'm just telling you from a grocery person's point of view that goes to the back room. We do not have a hidden, you know,
Mhm.
arsenal of things that we're not letting you have. You
Yep,
know,
yep. So what would you say has been like your biggest triumph in your 3 years of recovery?
um, my biggest triumph, probably my connection with God, because I didn't really have a big connection with God. I do get up every morning and meditate and pray, and pray for healing and stuff. My health is a lot better. I've gained a lot of weight. I feel healthy. I feel mentally healthy. I feel physically healthy. I love my job. I love being by my family. Love being by my family. Family is like, so like, it's something I really have missed out on for many, many years. And I really cherish, I have a really, really cool family. They are just, they're fun. I love my family, and not being around them for so many years and then getting blessed with this opportunity to, be back around them and get to see my niece and nephew grow up. And, it's been a blessing. And, just getting away from that whole situation,
Amen.
it,
Amen.
God has blessed me every day, every day. It's, I'm glad I'm not an addict anymore. I'm glad I'm not sleeping. It's really weird because I'll drive around and stuff and I'll look behind trash cans and stuff and I'm like, yeah, I used to could squeeze back there and sleep.
It's funny that those things still cross our mind. You still notice a place where you could sleep that night, or a purse that's sitting there open, or little things that we wouldn't do anymore, but there's still just remnants of our
Yeah,
past.
people leaving phones at work and, people, losing their wallet and this, that, and the other. And it's just like, I don't have those tendencies at all. But I told everybody at work, I said, if there's ever an apocalypse, I would be the one to follow. Because I would know where to get the food, where we could sleep, where we'd be good, how to build a fire,
Yeah.
So I like it. It's all good.
Good.
All good.
Good. And
Good.
So what's your living situation now like 3 years in?
I live in an RV park, a very nice little RV park. My son moved up from San Antonio and he is staying with me because he was like, and he's not in active addiction at all. He saw me. He used to have to pick me up in the streets of San Antonio because my daughter would call and be like, oh, mom's over here and you need to go get mom and she's going to die and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, he was going to culinary school and working, and he would get in his car and drive the other side of town and come over and pick me up. He's like, mom, when are you going to be done? Mom, just crying, mom. And he tells me to this day, he said, I thought you were going to be dead. I mean, he's very blunt with me. He's like, I thought you would be dead for real. Because I was just, oh God, just awful. Weighed like 90 pounds, just, emancipated, just looked terrible. And I lived, ran around on the streets and did my thing. And my kids have forgiven me for that time in their life. They're very proud of me. They're very supportive of me. They're very amazed that I've made it this far. Because I don't drink alcohol. I haven't drank alcohol in like 5 years. Because, I went from alcohol to meth. That's the better choice there. But whatever.
Up in the game. We're up in the game.
Yeah, that's well, and that's why, everybody at work's like, we should get together and drink some beer. I said, no, because my beer drinking leads to, let's go get a gram of Coke. Let's go steal a car. Let's run the streets. There's no, I don't go from, drinking fun. I go from drinking to felony. So I just need to just 100% abstinent. I can't do it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you found what works for you and that it's still rocking for you for 3 years now. That's freaking awesome.
Thank you, Maddie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and remember with your, what you just said, with your family forgiving you for your active addiction and stuff, and your kids forgiving you for that. That's a good thing to remember if you ever do decide to make amends with those other people. Is your kids have forgiven you for what you've wronged them for. I bet them other people that you've wronged in your past would probably be able to forgive you as well.
Yeah, it's hard.
I know it is. Just a seed. Just planting seeds over here.
I'm really trying. Maddie.
You're doing great. Lori says you can be like Matt and don't give a shit what people think about you. Be proud of yourself, Matt. I love you for that. Yeah, just don't give a shit what people think about you.
I really don't. I really just kind of stay in my own lane and do my own thing. And I really, whatever. You can like me or not like me. I really don't care. I'm doing me for me. So.
Amen. And hopefully you get some in-person meetings started up in your area. That would be freaking cool.
I'm going to check into that for real.
Yeah.
Try to do something.
And it doesn't, don't put pressure on yourself that it has to be a 12-step thing too. There's plenty other kind of recovery meetings you could start, or even just a regular general support meeting in itself,
Yeah. Yeah. Just to kind of help people out,
Yeah.
Because like you always say, if you could just get across to one person, just help one person, just, open somebody's eyes to it sucks for a while, but it gets better. It really gets better. It's really worth the diligency to do it.
Amen.
For real.
Elliot K says, very proud of you, Mom. Keep it up.
Oh, San Antonio. Yeah.
Angie says, I love you, sister. I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
Shasta with a bunch of hearts. Thank you, Shasta. That's awesome. Yeah, it's crazy awesome to have you here, having you here last year. And so there's a question. What is there anything you can think of that has changed from last year when we heard your story to this year? Is there anything big changes you've gone through?
My confidence is a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better. Like tonight, like last year, I wrote everything down I was going to say. Tonight, I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to get on there and talk. My confidence level has really gotten way better. I don't have as much anxiety. I don't get all wrapped up. I don't really think about drugs, ever. We live, I mean, our store is kind of in an area where, the homeless shelters down the street and stuff. So we get a lot of tweakers in our store, a lot. And I can tell. Yeah. And I just kind of look and go,
no.
Oh, I can way tell. I can way tell. And so it's like, okay,
Isn't it funny how you see them and you think back to yourself, when you thought nobody could tell, I remember,
but when I was doing it, nobody could tell.
I would go into Walmart, just blast it out of my gourd, and just, nobody knows, and now I see them in Walmart and I'm like, oh my goodness.
Did I look like that? Did I look like that? Was that me?
No.
But nobody.
Oh, I didn't look like that. No.
Yeah. And I mean, bless their hearts. I mean, it's not really a huge epidemic here because this town is very small. And it's mostly retired old people. It's people that come and recreational and vacations. And, we have a lot of national forests around here and parks and stuff. And so there's not, I mean, there is, but the cops here seem to really shut it down quickly. Yeah. The RV park that I live in, it's on a hill and it's right behind a trap hotel. I mean, right behind a trap hotel. And so it's I had to take an Uber to work about a month ago and I'm standing down in front of there and I'm thinking, oh God, cops are going to roll up here thinking, old visions. I'm like, oh God, they're going to roll up here thinking I'm doing something when I'm just getting a ride to work.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's you still have kind of those, what if moments, but it's that's kind of the only one that's kind of around me and it's right in front of where I live. I mean, I live up on a hill behind it. It's not right next to me, but it's one of those. So vivid memories. I go by that and go, no, I will not be staying there. I will not be going in the parking lot. No on that one.
Amen. We kind of got a area like that here in Whitewater. There's an area that you go past and you can just tell, that's where all the drugs are done. And it's just and I remember when I first moved down here, when I first moved out on my own, that building is one of the buildings that my probation officer, when I was looking for a place to stay, she was like, well, you can pretty much always get an apartment at this place, but I don't know if you want to live there. And I was like, no, I don't want to live. Why would you even offer me that? It's a terrible place to give you. Here, give me the landlord's number,
Yeah, they're gonna fully test your sobriety by putting you there.
Yes, full immersion test. That's what we need, right?
If you really want this, you can stay here and not use.
Yeah, there you go.
For real.
Angie says, I love that I've lost the desire to use. It felt like it was never going to go away.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, I mean I guess it's different people, but like I have no desire. You know what I mean? It's like there for a while I'm like, yeah, I could really, some days. But now it's like I just think about it and I think, yeah, no. I have come way too far. I just, you think about, you balance out the bad, which the bad was real bad. So it was like, do I really want to go back to that?
Exactly. And myself, that was something that kept me in my active addiction for quite a while, actually, was just the thought of having the itch you can never scratch. I was just always going to want to smoke meth and can never smoke meth again. And that was I had that worked up so big in my head that I thought that was going to be such a big issue. And it wasn't near that big of an issue. I mean, within the first year, I was already like, meth is the last thing on my mind right now. I got so much other stuff going on,
Yeah. Yeah, because you're rebuilding your life from scratch. And every hurdle that you go over, you're like, oh God, this costs a lot of money. And oh God, why? And oh my God, had I not done meth, I could have done this and I would already have this paid for. And this would have been all right. And you're starting out with baby steps. And it's very, very frustrating because you're like, yeah, some days you just don't want to adult. You really don't. You're like, yeah, no, I just don't want to do it today. I just want to lay in my bed. But
now I'm very thankful that I started to see blessings of recovery pretty early. I mean, not too many. I mean, my first year of recovery, I was still on my best friend's couch, but just those small first blessings, of the probation officer being proud of me and, getting a car and being able to go back home and having nice clothes on and looking good. And, those little blessings like that. I'm so glad that I was able to experience those early on because those kept me going. That made me realize, wow, if this is really what this is like, then I'm going to keep going with this,
Yeah.
Some people don't see those blessings. They come into recovery, they step away from drug use and nothing gets better. And some people really have that long suffering where they push through that until it does, but like I had such instant gratification that I'm just really glad I seen some early blessings,
Yeah.
So
it's like, I'm not a really big materialistic person. It's like I live in a little bitty camper. I have a limited amount of clothing. Most of it's work clothing. And I just kind of, make a pot of chili and just kind of chill and watch a little TV, do a lot of reading and stuff. But I'm not one of these people I do need to get out and explore more of my surroundings around here because it is beautiful here. Beautiful here. And last year was so hot. Now it's too cold, but I just need to be like, okay. And I have a bike and they have bike trails everywhere here. And I'm reading a book now that says, don't sweat the small stuff. And it has 150 things. Yeah. Of different things you should do. And it says, if you can't travel, at least get out once a week and walk around your own environment. Check out what's around you, which you do that. You go to the park and stuff around you, but there is so much beautiful. I mean, within walking distance of where I live, I just need to get off my butt and get out and, explore.
Amen.
And check stuff out, because it's very therapeutic.
Heck yeah. Even if it's too hot or too cold, just go. It's not going to kill you, right?
Oh my God, it's so cold here. It's like 22 and I do not like it. Or it went from 106 to 22 and I'm like, where's the fall? What is up with no snow, just cold?
Oh, that's
so, I just got to quit being a whiny ass and just get out and go do it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Buy yourself a hoodie.
Ass.
Get yourself a pointer change hoodie and a jacket and get out there.
I know. I need to do it. I know.
I don't want to turn it into one of those things that it was something you wanted to do and now it becomes something that I told you to do. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, I usually appreciate your guidance, Maddie, like for
Oh,
real.
good. Good. I'm
Yes,
glad.
yes. I've
I'm
been with
glad.
you for like 2.5 years now. So yeah, your guidance has pretty much helped me and, you know, kept me on the level.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad the pointer change is doing something good. That's for sure.
Whatever.
It's worth more than just getting everybody to talk about putting pickles in their butts. You know, that's the hard
Yeah,
thing.
I haven't tried that. I guess I'll try that in year 3.5 of recovery.
If things really go south, I don't know. If you get to the point where you're doing that to stay in recovery, I think things went south for you somewhere.
Right, right. All right,
Oh,
dear. Do you have any more questions for me?
no, you answered everything I had for you tonight. Other
Okay.
than all I have to tell you is thank you for coming on here. I'm so freaking proud of you.
Thank you, Maddie.
I'm
I
so glad
really,
that
really
you've made it
appreciate
3
it.
years now.
And I will
And
see you on year 4.
amen. Amen. Come on back anytime.
All right, love. Well, you have a blessed evening and thank you so much for everything. For real.
Oh, thank you too, Dana.
You
You
know
have a
I love
great
you
night.
very much. You're my favorite.
I love you as well. Well,
All
you have
right,
a good
dear. Well,
night.
you have a good night.
All right. We'll talk to you next time, Dana.
All right, bye.
Bye. Well, there you have it, guys. Dayna Moore celebrating 3 years of recovery. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight and for throwing up these awesome comments while we were here. And I hope somebody got something good out of this. If nothing else, maybe a chuckle or two. But that was definitely a lot of fun. Dana's been an amazing follower. I'm very proud to have her here. Very proud of that woman for pushing through 3 years of recovery. She's overcome a lot, as you hear her saying tonight, that she was sleeping behind dumpsters and knew which dumpsters had the good food on which nights and stuff. And now here she is, sharing her story on Facebook of recovery. Like anybody can make this work for you. Whatever you have to do to make recovery work, just make it work, man, and keep pushing because it's so worth it. I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow morning for Toothless Tuesday. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.